What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Tale of the Beard. This is Tales of the Beard, and I am your host, Matt. We're going to read another fictional story, and this one is a pretty good one. Hopefully, you had a little bit of a snack. Hopefully, this one doesn't make you too hungry, because this is the Time Traveler's Bakery. If you know anything about time traveling, we do it here on Triple T every Tuesday. We release a new episode where we time travel to a different episode. Make sure you guys check it out. Triple T podcast with myself, Burley, and Goot. I love to time travel. Let's not waste any of your time. Let's travel. The air was thick with the scent of cinnamon and sugar as May Harper slid the last tray of croissants into the oven. The soft hum of the oven and the faint crackle of the firewood were the only sounds filling the cozy kitchen. It was past midnight, and the sleepy town of Eldridge had long gone to bed. May, however, was wide awake, lost in the rhythm of kneading dough and sifting flour. This was her solace, her sanctuary. Tonight, however, the comforting monotony of her routine, sometimes words are hard, was broken when her hand brushed against something odd behind a row of jars on the top shelf. A dusty, leather-bound book with a golden clasp. Curiosity piqued. May opened the book, revealing pages filled with recipes written in a pretty unfamiliar script. A faint glow came from the ink as if the words were alive. On the first page, written in elegant calligraphy, were the words, "Bake with care, time's secrets lie within." She chuckled, dismissing it was an eccentric cookbook from years gone by. But as she flipped through the pages, she couldn't shake the feeling that this book was special. Intrigued, May decided to try her first recipe, Chronos Creme Brulee. CCB. The next morning, May placed the creme brulees on the counter, their caramel tops glistening like amber under the sunlight streaming through the shop's window. Her first customer of the day, Mrs. Ethel Winter, waddled in, as she does every single Tuesday morning after she listens to the Triple T podcast for the last 217 episodes. "I'll take my usual," Mrs. Winter said, eyeing the pastries with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. "How about something new on the house?" May offered, sliding a creme brulee across the counter. Mrs. Winter hesitated, but eventually takes a bite. The moment the spoon touched her lips, her eyes widened, and she froze. Mrs. Winter? Are you all right?" May asked, very alarmed. But the elderly woman didn't answer. She stood stock still, her expression distant. Then, as suddenly as it started, the spell broke and tears welled in her eyes. "I saw him," she whispered. "You saw him? Who did you see?" said May. She leaned a little bit closer. "My husband, Arthur. I was back in our kitchen the day he proposed. He was alive. I could smell his cologne that he probably got from Copper John's and used coat beard laws. I could hear the creak of the old wooden chair he always sat in." Her voice cracked. "It was real." May blinked, unsure of what to say. But Mrs. Winter didn't linger for an explanation. She left with a renewed spring in her step and a smile May hadn't seen in years. The word starts to get out of these magical pastries, and it spread faster than May anticipated. Soon, the bakery was bustling with customers, each eager to try what they dubbed the time treats. May was pretty reluctant at first. Couldn't deny the allure of the book, though. One man, a construction worker named Jack, returned from a cookie-induced journey with a resolve to call his estranged brother. A teenager who tried the eclairs saw herself acing her dream job interview 10 years in the future, and then finally decided to apply for college. Not all journeys, though, were pleasant. A woman broke down in tears after a tart revealed the future where she was just all alone. Another man left furious, muttering about mistakes he hadn't even made yet. May quickly realized that the pastries didn't just show moments in time, they influenced people. They nudged, they warned, they inspired. But for every joy the pastries brought, May wondered, was this power too much for one person to wield? Late one evening, a mysterious man enters the bakery. He was tall, with a dark coat that seemed to almost absorb the light. He introduced himself as Gideon and ordered a pastry May hadn't yet dared to make. Tempest turnovers. This one is tricky, May warned, though she wasn't sure why she was so hesitant. Something about Gideon unnerved her. He smirked and says, I can handle it. Reluctantly, May followed the recipe, her hands trembling as she folded the dough. When she handed the turnover to Gideon, she felt a strange energy in the air. He took a bite, and for a moment, nothing happened. Then a shockwave rippled through the room, knocking over trays and sending flour everywhere into the air. Gideon laughed, a cold, echoing sound. You have no idea what you've stumbled upon, do you? What are you talking about? May demanded. This book doesn't just play with time, it manipulates it. And now that you've unlocked its power, you're bound to it. Time has a way of balancing itself. He vanished before May could stop him, leaving behind only the faint smell of ozone. In the days that followed, the bakery became a chaotic hub of time anomalies. A man claimed he aged 10 years after eating a single scone. Another reported reliving the same moment repeatedly, as though caught in a time loop. May tried to stop baking from the book, but the recipes seemed to call her, their words glowing brighter each time she tried to ignore them. She was desperate for answers. She flipped to the last page, where there was one single line awaiting her. To close the loop, the baker must face her own time. The final recipe was simple. It's a loaf of bread, baked with the essence of her own memories. As the bread cooled, May felt the pull she couldn't resist. She tears off a piece and takes a bite. The world around her blurred, and she found herself in her childhood kitchen, watching her younger self bake with her mom. Her mother, laughter echoed, warm and familiar. But as the scene unfolded, May realized this wasn't just a memory. It was the last day she saw her mother before she passed. Tears are just streaming down her face. May approached her younger self and whispered the words she'd always needed to hear. It's okay to let go. May woke up to find the bakery quiet, the book sitting on the counter, but its glow had faded. Slowly, she opened it one last time and found all the pages were blank. From that day forward, May returned to baking the old-fashioned way, but the lessons, they remained. The bakery still attracted customers, not because of the magic, but because of the warmth and the care that May put into every pastry. And occasionally, when she closes her eyes, she swears she could still hear the faint hum of time in the air. And there you have it, the Time Traveler's Bakery. Just another fun little story here on Tales of the Beard. And again, I'm your host, Matt. If you enjoyed this, please show us some love on all the socials. Our friends of the show in the description. If you want, I'm not the boss of you. It would just be greatly appreciated. If not, we're going to continue to do this. How about we come back next week with another episode of Tales of the Beard. All right, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Let's go make today a good one. If you haven't, talked to somebody in a while, shoot them a text, give them a call. Say, hey, what's up? This can always be a reminder. It's okay to let go, as May said. But if you don't have to let go, let's give somebody a call. Say something nice. Make somebody smile. That's all we got. Take care, everybody.